All right, so we're still dealing with our triangles, and last time we went over side angle side and hypotenuse leg theorem, correct? So this time we're going to be going over angle side angle and angle angle side. I believe these are the last two of the proving triangles. Yeah. And let's look at these postulates that you've written. Angle side angle is talking about if two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent on two angles, and the included side of the second triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So that bunch of gibberish. If I have this angle congruent to this angle congruent to this angle, and the side that's between the two angles, then you can use the angle side angle congruence postulate to prove that these two triangles are congruent. Now think about that logically. Why does that work? Because if these two sides, this third side has to be, doesn't it? So then if you have those three angles, it would be a congruence triangle. So that's, logically that's how it works. Angle side is talking about the same two angles, and then the corresponding non-included side. Sorry, let me read this again. If two angles and a non-included side of one triangle are congruent, then two angles and the corresponding non-included side of the second triangle are congruent. So again, the angles work because if the two angles are congruent, then the third one is going to be congruent. So let's try this. Example 1. Oh, I need to take pictures. So let's look at these three pictures. Look at A. Try not to look at the answer in your book. Can the triangles be proven congruent with the information given in the diagram? If so, tell me the postulate. So for A, what do we know so far? We have this angle is congruent to that angle. And then we know this side is congruent to that side. Is there any other information we can conclude from that? These vertical angles are congruent, aren't they? Okay, so if you look at that, we have an angle and a side. So this would be the angle side there. And yes, you have enough information. Okay, now in all of these postulates, we've talked about the angles being congruent. I do want to remind you, you have to have at least one side showing that it's congruent to one side of the other one. So I'm leading you into this next one. Because look at these two triangles. What do you notice? The angles are all congruent. Yeah. Would you say equal angular? Yeah, that's exactly right. But do any of the sides seem to be congruent?
No.
No. So this one you would not have enough information. Because one of the sides, in fact, you can look at these and it's very obvious that the sides are all different sizes. The only one that looks close would be this one and this one. But no sides are known to be congruent, so you can't have angle. This is not a postulate. Okay? So now let's look at C. What do you guys see? Say it. Yeah, this line would be congruent to itself, right? Which makes it reflexive. So what postulate would this work for?
Angle side.
Very good, because you go angle and then side and then angle. This is mostly what you're going to be doing in your assignment today. So just keep your notebook open to your postulates and use it to go through it, and you'll be done real quick. So then all I would make sure you understand is the last on page 250. I'm going to put a picture of it here. You do have all this already in your journals, but this is like a quick cheat sheet to get to it. So if you have this in your journals, you will be able to answer all of the questions super fast. In fact, if you do have these all written, I know, but if y'all want to go make a photocopy of this and cut it out and glue it on a page, then you'd have a real fast get to it and be done with it. Okay? That's it, guys. I mean, that's the lesson. You're just using the two postulates. You're doing numbers 3 through 17. Let me double check that.